evening, everybody. Hope you all had a warm weekend. We had a nice one. We had our granddaughters since Wednesday night.
Yep.
Yeah, they came over Wednesday night and they spent the weekend. They went home Saturday. So we had a fun time with them. And tonight we have another Buckeye on. So Whyde Family Farm is an Ohioan. And if you have any questions, make sure you put them in all caps. If we don't see them, our mods will let us know. Make sure that the only time you use caps is when you ask questions, if you don't mind. And we'll go ahead and get started here.
Well, you ready to get started?
Sure.
You are.
Let's 12 below. Sean, I don't want to hear if it's 12 below. I'm ready for spring.
Okay. Well, I got this pretty little gal over here in the back room with the great big eyes.
Yes, she does.
So we'll just let her out.
Let her out? Is she in a stable or is she in a stable or what? Hello there, Courtney. How are you?
Hi. I'm good.
She does have big eyes, though.
So, whereabouts in Ohio are you?
I'm in Northeast Ohio. I'm about an hour south of Cleveland.
Okay. Are you far enough south that you're not big time affected with the snow effect from Lake Erie?
We are about maybe 35 minutes from the snow belt. So if you go further up north, you get more snow.
So you're on the outside edge of it.
Yeah.
Because I know that can be absolutely crazy. They can get tons of snow in that snow belt.
Yeah, we're about, there's Chardon's up there. That's about an hour from us, so.
Yeah, we could have visited her when we went to the hardware store.
Oh, really?
We were that close.
Wow.
We went to Hartville Hardware.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was told after the fact.
Like not even 15 minutes away from my house.
Yep.
So the Hartville flea market and everything.
Well, yeah. I like that. I like that store, but we probably won't be making that a regular stop.
It's dangerous for you.
It's terrible.
I want to go back when their flea market's open.
You can go
providing they have it.
Yeah, you can go to the flea market. I'll go to the hardware store.
We went to their flea market over the summer a couple of times, and then we actually used to do the flea markets. We used to sell stuff at the flea markets.
Yeah, I think you
for about 3 or 4 years.
You posted that you were going this past summer to different flea markets.
Yeah, there is one in Southern Ohio, near Lebanon.
Okay.
It's Rogers. It's in Rogers. So.
For those of you wondering, that is not Smudge.
No, Smudge is probably sound asleep.
Rogers is not too far from us either. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry I have to move this, but my dog is barking its head off. If you have dogs, you'll understand where I'm coming from.
Oh, yes.
Give me 1 second. It's driving me nuts. He has to potty, of course, as soon as I get on the thing. He has to go to the bathroom. So I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Where to Begin Homestead? I love flea markets. Always have.
Oh, yeah. I'm a huge
is
flea market fan. And actually, I really like Rogers more than I like Hartville. Rogers is huge. And they used to have like livestock auctions and all different kinds of stuff there. They don't really have that anymore as much, but yeah, it's a lot of fun there. Really big. So that's the part I think I like about it the most. Is that they got food and it's just a really big flea market. It's a lot of fun. I've never sold anything there before, but I do like you get, since you're so far south, you get a lot of people from West Virginia, people from Pennsylvania, Youngstown, those areas, and they come to the flea market too. So you get more variety versus Hartville, which just has, maybe local people. It's not so much, out of state, because sometimes you can really find some good stuff.
So share with us a little bit about your property. You live on a farm, is that correct?
Yeah, I live in a farm. I have actually 2.5 acres, and my mom lives next door, and she has 3.5 acres. And I live next door. This was my grandparents' house, and I've pretty much lived here my entire life. So, except for the one part where I moved to Kentucky. I moved to Kentucky a long time ago and lived there for a while, and then I moved back home. And so, yeah.
So the property goes back in your family for quite a number of years.
Oh, yeah. Actually, the property I'm living on and the property that my mom is living on was my great-grandfather's. They owned, I don't even know how many acres, tons. And maybe about 6 or 7 years ago, they sold off the farmhouse that my great-grandparents also lived down the street, and I still have some of my great-aunts and uncles that also live on the street, but they all live on pieces of what were the old farmhouse land, so they all built houses on it. So my mom built her house on it, and then, of course, my grandfather built this house on the property as well. So we were all, this whole land is all connected together, was at one point, so. But,
so
yeah.
On your farm, I mean, that's not a great big farm, so I'm assuming you don't grow crops like corn
No.
and soybeans and all that, but you have some animals?
Yes. Yeah, I have ducks and I have chickens. We haven't really got into goats or cows or anything like that. That all requires a lot of money. And we're kind of also really cautious about the animals and stuff that we get, just for the fact that we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where we wouldn't be able to take care of them. So we're really cautious about how much animals we actually have. And right now, I would say that we are at our max right now.
Well, I saw that you apparently sell some eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, I wish she was close.
Yeah, I sell out of eggs like you wouldn't believe. And I have a client that comes to my house once a month. He always orders 6 dozen.
Wow.
From me. So, and I got a low capacity right now. I only have 40 chickens. I'm going to get 8 more here. And I think January 18th, we actually go and we'll pick them up because I don't like getting chicks through the mail. And now the mail issues and stuff like that,
yeah,
took me forever to get some stuff through the mail, and so I really wouldn't like to get my chicks through the mail right now.
Well, if it's from a local hatchery, I'm not going to give any names, but a local Ohio hatchery, I have heard not so good things about them.
Yeah.
So
I just go and I'll just go and pick them up. No big deal. It's only an hour from here, so and I actually enjoy the ride because I don't get out much.
Yeah.
So
Robin, Mrs. Big Bear Homestead is asking, what kind of ducks do you have?
I have just the khaki Campbells, and then I have 2 Peking ducks that I absolutely love. Unfortunately, with Peking ducks, they get fat. They get fat really easily. I have Quackers, who is just so fat, she just waddles when she walks. It's horrible. And then I adopted the other duck. Her name is Linda, and my husband's boss had her for years, and her mate passed away, and he's like, it's the only duck I have left. You guys want her? And we took her, and she's crippled. I mean, she has so much stuff wrong with her. But
did you say her name was Linda?
Yeah, her name is Linda.
Oh, my sister's name is Linda. She's in the chat. That's why I had to bring that up. River Rock Homestead is asking, what type of chickens do you own?
Oh my lord. I love chickens. I absolutely love chickens, and I love roosters. I just love their personalities, but I have several different kinds. I have olive eggers, Easter eggers. I have, I'm trying to go through it. I have lavender Orpingtons. I have barred rock. I have, I can't think of all of them right now. It's just crazy. I have a ton.
And Where to Begin Homestead is asking, do you harvest ducks for meat or just eggs?
Just the eggs. And I couldn't, unless it was a male duck. My husband wanted to kill the male ducks fast. Well, one got eaten by a raccoon, which I was very upset about.
Oh my.
But so we had to protect our ducks, and we moved them to a spot that was a little better, and that protected them. We used to just let them free range and let them do whatever they wanted. But we had a raccoon that just kept coming around, and it got 2 of my ducks. So I then decided to put them in a place where we had put our turkeys. So they're in the turkey pen.
The Rusty Pepper's asking, and thank you, Linda, and you're welcome, Linda. I did that just for you. The Rusty Pepper's asking, do you have any silkies?
No, I don't. I do have a Houdan Australort mix that I just got because we actually hatched some eggs. Oh gosh, that was a long story. We basically had a barred rock that was sitting on like 20 eggs. And one night we decided, I have this Amish buggy that
cool.
we acquired. We used to live in Akron, and I didn't even have any land at all. And we had acquired this Amish buggy, and it was in our backyard when I lived in Akron.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So anyway, we moved it out here, and now we use it. The chickens and stuff, they love it. They use it as shelter.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
And they used to lay eggs in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I had like 20 eggs underneath this barred rock in the back of this buggy. And one night we went out there, and we had to get them, and we had to candle them all just to see if there was any life in them. But I had no idea that green eggs, you couldn't look through at all. Like, we have a heck of a time looking through those eggs. We couldn't see if there was babies in there or not. Some of the lighter eggs, it's easy to tell, but those darker, can't tell at all. And so then we pulled those out and put them in the incubator, some of them that we thought had life. And we didn't think anything was going to happen with them. And then all of a sudden we heard beep, 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 beep. And we're like, we made life!
That's so cool.
Exciting. We couldn't believe it, you know? We were actually even going to give up on them because we didn't think anything was going to happen, you know? And we got one. And so you can't just have one chicken. They get lonely.
Yep.
They, and stuff like that. So I acquired 2. My friend down the street has silkies, frizzles, all those, chickens that I call pet chickens. And they have all those. And so I acquired some Houdan mixes, and we've had those, but unfortunately our baby didn't make it. But,
jeez.
I absolutely love Houdan. We call her Two-Face because she literally right down the center of her face has one white and black.
Oh, wow.
And she has this really weird spiky hair. It's funny.
City Girl Country Heart is asking, how many different animals do you have?
I have 2 dogs, and I have, I think, 8 ducks and 40 chickens, and I'm about to acquire 8 more chickens.
And I saw, River Rock Homestead, what other natural predators do you have to worry about?
We do have bobcat. My husband has seen a bobcat down the street. He'll come home early in the morning and see it. But we've never had one in our backyard. However, I did see a fox totally take out one of my turkeys. Our back window has complete access to our our backyard. We can see everything that goes on back there. And one day I was looking out the window, I was in the kitchen, and I just saw the fox come right out of the back field and take out one of my turkeys. I was very upset because I couldn't get to it fast enough.
Now, you do know that we have a predator control person in the homesteading community. In fact, in the chat. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Big Bear Homestead. Jason, that's what he does.
Oh, okay.
That,
yeah.
that was his business.
Yeah, I think I saw that. He's on the lineup for the HOA or
Life conference. The Life
I'm
conference.
sorry, I'm not really up on all that because I've never done any of them.
Yeah,
so.
the Life conference. Oh, you'd enjoy it.
Well, and HOA too.
Yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Let's see. There, I saw another question here.
Our main problem here is raccoons. Big problem.
What do you grow? What all do you grow in your garden?
We grow tons of stuff. My husband is a tomato aficionado. He grows all different kinds. Our tomato plants this year were like 12 feet tall. We grew tomatillos. I grew peppers. There's this one pepper that I absolutely loved. It's a Spanish pepper, but I can't pronounce it. Something. I always called it the espionage pepper because I can never pronounce its name. But I absolutely love that pepper, and we grew a bunch of those this year. Lettuce. I grow a ton of herbs. I grew loofah gourds, which I still have some in my greenhouse. I had about 40 loofah gourds. We grow all different kinds of tomatoes, though. My husband is really big into that. I grew a lot of brassicas this last year, but I didn't really have a whole lot of success with them because we had like a bug problem. And it was in the fall that we grew the cabbage and stuff, but they were just all full of holes. But my lettuce this year did wonderful. It was the best lettuce that I had ever grown. So
do you also do some crafting with leather?
No, I don't do anything like that.
Okay, well,
I do paint, but I haven't shown anybody.
Well, the reason I ask is we have a question in here from Keto Homestead with Jess, wanting to know how your chicken saddles are making out.
Oh, yeah.
Those aren't leather.
Awful.
Those are material.
Oh man, I waited 2 months for those hen saddles, and
do you know that's something I can make. That's something I can make. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're working great. I haven't done a video on that, but I plan to. I have 3 hen saddles right now on 3 of my girls, my roosters. I have 5 roosters, and they're kind of wreaking havoc on my ladies a little bit. I have 2 Easter egger ladies, and they're quite popular with the men. And so I put the saddles on them because they are missing hair. So, and then I have one Polish. I got a Polish hen. That's one of my chickens too. I couldn't remember the name. But I have one Polish that I don't know what's going on with her. She's losing feathers and losing some on her back, so I put one on her too. And all my chickens are so tame; they just let me do it. And it's so funny looking at out the back window, looking at them, because some of the hen saddles were like neon pink and stuff. It's like, oh, they're so fashionable.
Now, how big is your homestead?
We have 2.5 acres. I have a huge barn out back with loft or upstairs. I don't know what they call upstairs of a barn. Loft, I guess, space. And yeah, it's pretty big, and it's just right for us. So
Joyce from Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead's asking if you can your veggies.
I don't can yet. However, I am acquiring a canner, and I'm so excited. So I'll be canning a lot of vegetables. I do can a water bath, a lot of jams and stuff like that. And we have a lot of berries and stuff on the property. I have blackcurrant and elderberry and wild blackberries, and when we first moved in, I planted a ton of raspberries, which I thought I killed, and I didn't. And then we bought more, and so therefore I have tons of raspberries.
Okay, and Fishes and Loaves Life, the saddles for the chickens are not harnesses; they're protection. Sort of.
Yes, yeah. They're to protect the bird, mainly from the rooster, from scratching at him. Because a rooster, they only have one purpose, and that is to mate. And they do it all day long.
And
they will, grab
and crow, yeah.
talons. Well, mine don't have the spurs yet. but they got talons, and they will, grab the back of the bird. And hopefully at that point, unless you're a barred rocks are pretty feisty, the hen will submit to the rooster, and then they scratch at them. Sometimes they'll even hurt them. You have to really be careful of which type of roosters you get. Sometimes they'll stab them with their claws and stuff. They can really hurt them.
Wow.
Trip H Farm, and I knew Kyle would be asking this. How many elderberries do you have?
I have 3, and I planted a different type. I have I don't know what they're called, the older ones. They're black, the black elderberry. I have 3 of those bushes, and then I acquired some. There was a lady in Medina I think it was Copley, that had tons of stuff she was selling from her backyard. All different kinds of rhubarb, all different kinds of stuff last year. So we found her on Craigslist. We went to her house, and we acquired a ton of elderberry plants. So I planted one that's called Nova. I've never heard of that before, but I planted one, and then the other one didn't make it. But I also planted a ton of blueberry bushes as well. So I'm hoping that those make it through the winter. But yeah, I love elderberry.
So, do you have any other perennial type bushes or trees on your property there? Or do you have?
Yeah, we have a dozen or so apple trees and pears. I actually still have 2 apple trees that my grandfather had planted, and they're huge.
Cool.
And get tons of apples from those every year. But I also have an orchard on the side of my house. You don't ever really see me film about it because, one, I don't really know anything about trees, apple trees. I tend to learn, but I really don't have any clue. And then 2, they never really do anything. The trees on the side never really do anything. The apples rot before you can get to them. Mm-hmm. And I think our one pear tree, we had 1 stinking pear on it, and my husband ate it.
Joyce from Morris Patch of Heaven is asking, do you sell cuttings? I'm assuming she's meaning from the elderberry bushes.
Oh, from the elderberry bushes? I don't know. I guess I could. So I have never really cut my bush or anything like that. I guess you're supposed to every year. Cut it down and I don't know. But my elderberry bush, man, it really spreads. And I got it. The one part of my backyard where I have my black ferns, I have 3 or 4 black currant bushes along the corner of my backyard, and then I also have those elderberry bushes, and they really like that wet soil. Mm-hmm. I have it's not really swampy, but it's just low enough, and that's why we decided to get ducks as well, is because that section of the backyard is just wet constantly, and they just love it back there. They swim in the water and have a good time, and so my elderberry bushes are just spreading like you wouldn't believe.
Now, see, I planted 7 last year, and every one died. Every single one.
Really?
Yeah, every single one died.
Oh, that's sad.
Yep. Yeah, it is. Have you tried peaches?
No, I have not. That might be something we consider. I know my husband wants to get plum. He really loves plums. He wants to get some plum trees.
Don't we have plums?
So have 4
we have 2
cherry
plums
trees
in the back, don't we?
Along my driveway as well. So
I think it is
4 apples and 2 plums and a peach.
And pears.
Yeah, and pears. Trip H is saying if you take elderberry cuttings, do it when they are dormant.
Oh, okay. So right now would be the best time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just looking for questions here. Go ahead. Open them up. Just one at a time. We're not doing multiples. Yeah, now is the time to trim. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think now is the time if we wanted to get the grapevines, if I wanted to try making any baskets or wreaths or anything, I think now is the time to get the grapevines for that.
I want to get a little explanation about this moonshine.
I'm the one who started that.
Moonshine, huh? I do like moonshine. That's good.
Trip H is saying if you will cut your elderberry bushes down to the ground when they are dormant, they will produce better each year.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. We'll have to do that. I mean,
Yeah, and if anybody
March
knows about
when everything
elderberries,
starts coming back, so
Yeah.
we got plenty of time.
yeah, if anybody knows about elderberries, it's Kyle and Tasha.
Oh, thanks for letting us know, because we'll definitely do that.
Where to begin homestead? Are you seed starting yet?
Not yet, but I will be. I have thousands of little seeds waiting for me.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I have one of those little greenhouses in the back room. I need to use it again I didn't do anything with it last year, but I need to get some started.
Yeah, we built a small greenhouse over the summer, and we haven't used it yet. We plan on using it now for all of our starts, and I actually had purchased some flower seeds and stuff. My aunt wants me to grow some flowers and stuff for her, so I'll be doing some petunias and some begonias and stuff like that for her. And I just have we have just a lot of stuff on our mind for the upcoming year of what we would like to plant, and I'm really into herbs, so I'll be growing a lot of different types of herbs this year as well.
So, do you do any bees?
No, unfortunately, we just don't. I don't have the money for that. I mean, it's like $1,000 to get started for a hive. Though I did. There's a guy local here who offered to get me set up for $300. He's like, "I'll set you up for $300." I just haven't done it yet. I don't want to take on. I have a child, small 2-year-old that takes up a lot of my time, and I don't want to take on too much at once. But bees and getting a donkey is in my future. So.
You said getting a donkey?
Yes, I really want to get a donkey.
So you want an ass in your life?
Yeah. Yes.
And there we go, folks.
All right. Well, we have somebody calling in here, so let's see who we have. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Trip H Farm.
Well,
Hey,
hello.
Tasha.
Hello.
Hello.
You are looking good. I saw your picture. Was it yesterday or Saturday? You are looking good, young lady.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So welcome. Go ahead. Floor's all yours.
Okay, so we're Trip H Farm. Me and my husband Kyle.
Sorry, I'm stuffing my face.
He just got home from work.
Drinking his gallon of milk.
Yes. Yes, he is. Sure is. So we actually got into elderberry by his uncle telling us about elderberry. So when we got into elderberry, I was on 23 different medications. And I am now on...
Sorry, I have to get my dog again.
2 medications.
I apologize. My dog is driving me crazy. I'm sorry. I don't want to leave him outside. He doesn't have any hair. We shaved him down, so he's like going to be cold.
What kind of dog?
I apologize.
Oh, you're fine,
yeah,
Courtney.
you said you were on 20 different medications.
Yes, I was on 23 different medications when I first started elderberry. And so I'm actually doing very well in, I had gastric sleeve done and I still drink elderberry. So I do very well. My husband is the one that's very knowledgeable about elderberry, so I'm going to turn it over to him.
Now, when we started growing them, I just
when we moved into this house, we knew we had an
actually
elderberry
found
bush.
the number one commercial grower in the nation
We didn't really
lives
know
less
the
than an
extent
hour
of
from us.
everything
So,
until
and
we started,
he's really taught me a lot about
actually
growing
getting
them and all.
into homesteading. And then we're like, oh man, we can actually make stuff out of this. Because, you think about it at first, if you're not really educated on elderberry, you're thinking, oh no, elderberries have cyanide in them. And, and you're like, should I be eating that? Or, and so you get kind of scared.
Well, that's actually, the European elderberry has trace amounts of cyanide. But the Kerr Center and the University of Missouri, they've been doing about a 7-year-long study. And this last year, they actually released that the American elderberry does not have any of the cyanide traces in it.
Oh, Okay. That's better. That's good to know. Yeah, I have been doing a ton of research on the elderberry, and they said that when you're cooking it, the cyanide escapes or something like that. And so it made me a little less worried about dealing with it, I guess. So
yeah, it's the old way of cooking it was to bring it to a boil, but and that was to burn it and trace about cyanide out. But there was never a lot of research done on the American elderberry. Everything was based off the European elderberry. So when after the Kerr Center and University of Missouri, thanks a lot to Terry Durham from River Hills.
So
he really pushed a lot of it.
The American elderberry, that's the black, right? The original... Because there's blue elderberries and there's all different kinds of elderberries, but the black original, that's the American, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
then that's the
Lucas
Nigra. So, okay, that makes me feel better.
But we eat them raw right off our bushes. We've got about 60 here in our orchard. We can't grow any more than that where we're at right now because we don't have enough water to supply them. Like you were saying, they love wet ground.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's why the black currants love it so much there, too. We get I didn't even make any black currant jam this year because I just basically put them all in my gallon-sized bag and froze them because I'm like, I have so much black currants coming out my ears. I didn't realize that the plants, there's just thousands of berries all over them. And the birds don't really touch them. I don't know if the birds don't like them or what. Birds, however, love my elderberry plants. Love them.
Yes,
you gotta hurry up and rush out there before they eat them.
We've tried to go mostly with the Bob Gordon variety of elderberry because it actually grows an inverted head that has like a natural cage over the berries, so the birds can't get to them as easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I definitely need to do that, and I need to do that. I got one giant blueberry bush and one giant pink blueberry bush, and every year I get birds that just, if you don't get out there in time, they eat them all. And one time I did net them, but I had a bird actually go underneath the net and get caught in the net underneath the bush. They wanted those berries so bad. So my husband was considering doing something with PVC pipe and actually building a cage over top of them eventually. That requires money, so I have to wait for that one.
Yeah. That wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't work for us. We're growing. Our eventual goal is to have about 8 to 10 acres of a commercial elderberry path.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
So, but that's several years down the road. We still got to find more land to do that on that has a good source of water.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so amazing. That'd be so cool.
So the gentleman that got us started, he's got 12 acres, and he's averaging about 8 to 9 pounds of berries per bush every year.
Wow.
So it's about 1,900 bushes per acre.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a lot of berries. That's cool.
Yes, it is. He has 2 automated desemmers to keep up with harvest every year.
Wow, yeah, that would be so cool. I have a small farm up the street from me. It's not really a farm. It's a place where you can go pick all different kinds of stuff. They have peppers and it's like a picking patch, and they have blueberries and raspberries and stuff like that there for you to pick. But I don't think they have elderberries. But yeah, like that would be so cool to have, a big space like that where people can just come and enjoy the fruits of your labor.
Yeah. Do you feed any of your berry mash to your chickens?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Do you feed any of your berry mash to your birds?
No, I don't. I've never done that.
Does she want drunk chickens?
Well, what we do with our elderberries is we juice them for the pure juice. Then we distill them for the hydrosols. Then we feed the leftover mash to our chickens and ducks and everything. And we have never had since we started doing that, we've never had a single case of coot cough or any kind of respiratory issues in our birds.
What can I ask you? What do you do with elderberry hydrosol?
We use it. You can mist it on food. It's also, if you got a bad bruise or something, if you mist it on there, it's real good for your skin. My grandmother had fallen into a door frame and whole face was black and blue. And it was right when we had first started making the hydrosols. And I gave her a bottle just to try it because I knew it was supposed to be good for your skin. So she started spraying that on her face a few times a day. And her doctor and nurses ended up calling me to find out what it was that I gave her because they couldn't believe how quick the bruise healed up.
That's awesome. Oh, so cool. Yeah, I want to.
So
now I'm all like about making hydrosol now too. Not just.
So it's real easy to make. We make it in our crock pot here in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, cool. I bought a still to make essential oils and stuff, and I made fine essential oils.
Sure, she did.
And I had a ton of like, I guess you would say hydrosol left, like bunch of pine water. But I couldn't even imagine spraying that on myself, so I didn't really. It was my first test, you know. But yeah, that.
Yeah, it does have a pungent smell to it. It's got a very, very strong elderberry smell.
Oh well,
but
yeah, I imagine it would smell really good. Like elderberries smell good.
So, my dad really liked the hydrosol for his hands. After 32 years of law enforcement out on the street, his hands got just real bad, dried and cracked and everything. And the hydrosol did real good for limbering his hands up a lot better.
Kyle, have you done a video showing that?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
I think it's called 3 Uses for Elderberry or
okay.
Something along that line.
I'll have to go out and look for it.
Yeah, I'll have to check it out too. I subscribe to a ton of different people and tons of farmers and all different kinds of stuff, but I don't always leave comments. I do watch everybody's stuff though, and I try to keep updated, but sometimes I just don't leave comments. Mm-hmm. But I am watching. I'm always watching. So. But yeah, I try to always.
She's one of those lurkers.
She's a lurker.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really into that. I'm really into herbs and elderberries and stuff like that. And I'm not really new to herbs, but I'm new to making stuff out of the herbs. And so I really want to learn more. I actually have some more books and stuff coming in the mail here soon that I cannot wait to read. So.
Now, Courtney, Crystal, a.k.a. Copper Kettle Farm, started a Facebook group last night specifically for learning with the herbs. Can Big Bear or Robin or one of the mods go out and get that link for Crystal's Facebook group, please?
Just real quick, I found that video we have is called 2 More Uses for Elderberry. That's what we had titled it.
Okay. Sounds good. I will go because I want to watch that one also. I mean, yeah. I've watched them all, but it's been a while. I know when we got home from the Life Conference last year, 2 years ago, and after Tasha made the video of her dinner, boy, I watched that one.
I think that's been one of our better videos.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I knew it was a good one. Elderberries and more, is that what you said, that one?
2 More Uses.
Oh, 2 more uses. Okay.
It's in we've got a whole playlist of all of our elderberry stuff there.
I'm sure you do.
There's like 8 videos in there.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to definitely check that out for sure.
Okay.
If you can't tell, we
There we
love
go.
them. That was actually one of the very first things we ever did when we started our YouTube was a video on elderberry.
Do you grow plants? Like, do you grow a garden and stuff too?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you grow a big garden?
Oh yeah, our garden. We actually have expanded our garden as well. Our garden is pretty big. We have 6 raised beds, and then the rest of the space is all on the ground. I don't really know the square footage of it. And yeah, we have a really big garden every year. In fact, we harvested our tomatoes. I haven't even made anything out of them yet. They're still in the freezer. But yeah, so every year we have a tremendous garden, and it's so much fun. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, I love growing. Like, it's my favorite thing to do. It's like it's like some people, read a book to get relaxed, just to relax. Mine is, working in the garden. It's just so relaxing to me.
Yeah, I get anxiety though when I start my plants. I don't know why. I get this anxiety that they're not going to make it, and then my huge problem is all of them end up making it. Last year, all of our tomatoes made it, and we had 70 different tomato plants. It's like, that's a little out of control.
Do you tend to start 10 times what you actually have room to plant?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said, do you end up starting 10 times the amount that you have room to grow?
Yeah.
That's Tasha.
Doesn't everybody do that?
I am very guilty. I end up giving away more than I actually start because are in the ground at least.
We've given a lot away as well. Ground cherries are a really big thing around here, and ever since we introduced them to people, and they're all like, "Oh, you got any of those ground cherries?" And so this year we plan on starting a ton, and I plan on either selling them or giving them to people. Haven't figured out just yet, but there's a couple of people that just raved about them. So
that would
plan on doing that.
Starts would be a good thing to take to the the spring flea markets.
Yes,
because people buy starts like crazy.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got so many ideas right now. That's awesome. There's a farmer's market not too far from us in Alliance, Ohio. And it's a really small farmer's market, and they do it right in a parking lot of a grocery store. And I plan on taking my eggs there this year to sell my eggs. So I'm really excited about doing that. And I'm getting Leghorns. Getting Leghorns. That's what they're called. Sorry, I'm terrible with names of things. But I'm getting 8 more on the 18th. So hopefully they'll be laying by June. And they are supposed to lay like 300 or 400 eggs a piece. So we're going to be having a ton of eggs. I don't know if I'll be able to sell them all, but I'm going to try.
Colossal Homestead is asking, when should you start germination of seeds? Well, I think that all depends what part of the country you live in.
Yeah, it depends on your location.
It depends. Like right now, it would definitely not start in Ohio, because technically I wouldn't be able to plant till Mother's Day.
Yep.
That's in May. So probably about 6 weeks prior to your frost date. Yeah. And if you're growing peppers, probably a little more than that. Probably maybe a little bit more before that, probably 7 weeks before your frost date. Peppers take a little longer, and I know the ground cherries are really hard to start too. And really, you just it's trial and error. You just have to figure it out, because especially for your area, one thing that somebody does in California is completely different from here. So
yeah. See, now I tend to not put anything in the garden until almost Memorial Day. We did that 2-3 years ago, by Mother's Day,
You frequently do that.
and everything froze, and we lost everything.
Yep.
So
Yeah, and I was really upset because last year we did it by Mother's Day, and it does snow. My birthday is on the 16th, and I never really have snow on my birthday, and I had snow on my birthday. It was horrible.
no,
And I had to cover every night, and that's such a pain in the butt. I had to cover my stuff every night. So yeah, Memorial Day weekend is the time to plant around here.
Yeah. Now, of course, if you have a greenhouse or other means, large, perhaps a barn, something that's enclosed where it's out of the weather, that can alter that as well too. So.
Yeah, and we built. It's not really. I guess it's a hot house. It's not really a greenhouse. It doesn't have heat in it. We can put heat in it if we wanted to, but we built a hot house over the summer, so I'm really excited. We put shelves and stuff in it for our trays and stuff like that, so I'm really excited to get stuff started. I had a plan on growing lettuce in there all winter long, but I ran out of time. So
I'm not allowed to have one.
Uh-oh.
No, it's the neighborhood restrictions.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're only allowed so many feet of outbuildings, and between the outbuilding that we brought with us when we moved here and the detached 2-car garage, we're at our limit.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
They consider the 2-car garage a detached building, so it's an outbuilding.
Oh.
And you can't fight stupidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one.
Oh man, they would hate us because my grandfather built. We have a small little red barn on the side of our house that my grandfather built, and behind that was his little shed that the previous owners turned into a chicken coop, and then out back we have a pig barn, and then we have a really big barn. So and then I also have a garage. So they would. You're
not lacking any buildings, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if we had more property, if we had over an acre of ground, then you can get away with that. You can. And you don't even need a permit if it's an agricultural building under, I want to say 600 square foot or something.
Yeah, we tried buying the neighbors sort of catty corner from us when they were selling their house. They have their lot and then an extra lot on the backyard, the back of their house. And we offered to buy that extra lot, which is right next to ours. Yeah, $15,000. I don't think so.
Oh.
Yeah. Keep it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. Prices right now, it's specifically in Ohio. I don't know where it's like anywhere else, but I know here it's prices of the houses are just absolutely ridiculous. There's a house around the corner from us that is selling for like $300,000 or something like that, and we looked at it. I mean, nothing is updated in it, nothing whatsoever. I mean, the only thing good about it is it has 5 acres with it, and it's not even visible from their acreage is not visible from the road at all. You wouldn't even guess that house even had acreage at all. But it's completely outdated. It looks like from 1970, but they still want $300,000 for that house. So.
Well, now you be careful. We're in a 60s house, so.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, all electric. Yeehaw.
Everything in this house is built by my grandfather, which has the factor of it's not level, and the electricity is very hokey. And there's just things that my husband was trying to put a door on the back, and he was so angry. And they didn't use insulation. My grandfather just used his old shirts
Oh my gosh.
and stuff like that. So we're dealing with that. My grandfather's name was Walter, and so my husband calls it the Walt factor.
Oh, jeez. That is too funny.
Old shirts and newspapers.
The Walt factor now.
Yeah. And in our old house, it was newspapers.
Yeah, it was newspapers.
Newspaper was the insulation. It's like, no wonder we were cold.
Yeah, it's interesting. Where I'm sitting at now is the original part of the house, and then my grandfather just added on and added on and added on. So this house has been added on to like 3 or 4 times, and I'm sitting in the original part of the house now. So this part of the house, the electricity, it has no basement underneath it, and the electricity is really hokey in this section of the house.
With the
probably 1948. Electricity in here.
with the age of that you might be sitting in a log cabin there. Are you sure what your walls are made of?
No, it's I don't really know what these particular walls are made out of. My grandfather was a huge plaster person, and he plastered for Kent State University and worked for Kent State for a number of years, and he was a huge. He plastered everything in this house, and we have some really cool artsy ceilings and stuff that he did. And
so all the real fancy stuff. You have some sculpted walls and ceilings and, and curved areas.
Very cool, swooshy plaster.
Yeah, looks like brick in some cases, and I'm sure he did all that kind of stuff. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's really neat. Like, he was very proud of his work.
Yeah, Big Bear, you would know her pain. Yep. I understand. Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. I think we're going to hop off here so we can get back to doing some seed sorting.
It was when I saw you. I'm going to definitely check out some of your videos, especially the elderberry videos that really interest me, and the hydrosol. That's really up my alley right now, so I'm definitely going to check you guys out. So,
well, thanks for calling, awesome, Kyle and Tasha.
And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I do my best to reply to every comment, and if I don't have an answer on an elderberry question, I should be able to find out. I got some pretty good contacts to get just about any info needed.
All right. Well, thank you so much, and thanks for calling in, chatting.
No problem. We enjoy it.
Okay. So we do have the phone lines open. If anybody would like to call in, the number's scrolling across the top of the screen. We're taking one call at a time, and that way it keeps the confusion down, and we have a little bit of a audio hearing issue with multiple callers at the moment.
Well, one call at a time until when is that? Until March 22nd and March 29th.
March 22nd, March 29th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those two deserve to have the phone lines open.
All right. So.
Oh, Bushcraft family says my plaster walls have horsehair mixed in it.
You know what? I think that would probably... I don't really know. I assume that that's probably what's going on. I lived in a house in Akron for years, and I still had the old horsehair carpet in the closets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, go figure, Darren. Yep, YouTube. We're going to open up the phone lines for you two. Mm-hmm.
So Courtney, what do you have planned for your property here over the next few years?
Well, I definitely plan on expanding the garden. The chickens are number 1, 2. We plan on expanding the chicken coop. What we have in the chicken coop right now is just temporary. It's not a permanent situation. Our chicken coop is in our barn, and we plan on expanding that. And we actually have to now because we're getting 8 more chickens. So we're at max capacity right now, and with the 5 roosters who think they're hot stuff. So we gotta, yeah, they really do, man. I go out there and they strut their stuff and they spread their wings and they just think they're so cool. But so we gotta definitely expand, and we have, I'm so happy that Jess on Roots and Refuge actually said that she had a rat problem, because that made me feel a little bit better, because we have a giant rat problem from previous owners having livestock in their barn. And they're pack rats, and they're burrowing pack rats. They burrow under the ground, so we have a huge issue there. So what we plan on doing is cementing the chicken coop, so that they can't get in there and can't burrow in. And so we plan on expanding that. And I'm sure I will have videos about it when we do it. And it'll be fun for us. And I can't wait to get these other chickens, and it's really going to expand our business even further. So.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
So the farm came from your family from years ago, or
Yes.
or your husband's family, your family?
No, mine.
It was hers.
Okay, from your family. So you grew up on a farm then?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
I grew up next door, my mom's house. They live in a ranch house, and I grew up there all my entire life. I actually did meet my husband in high school, though, but we never dated or anything like that. We had the same circle of friends, and then later on in life, we met and got married. And my parents, I've lived next door to my grandparents, which I'm living in their house now. So I lived next door to my grandparents all my life. And we moved to a place in Akron. I own a house still there. We've lived there for 10 years. And then I got pregnant with my son. And the funny, ironic part of that story is, as I was sitting in the doctor's office, my husband knew I was pregnant, even though I hadn't taken the pregnancy test, had the confirmation yet from the doctor, but he knew I was. He's on Zillow looking at houses. He's like, well, we're not raising this kid in Akron, Ohio, Not that Akron, Ohio is a bad place, but where we lived, it was not good. And so he's like, I don't want to raise my kid there. And so he's looking, and then he sees, this place for sale by owner. And it says, please buy my house. That's what the title said.
Wow.
Or buy me out of my house or something like that. And so we knew the people that had lived here, but we had no idea that they were selling. We were like, okay, that's really weird. Why didn't they say something to us, or say, hey, we're selling this house. Would any of your family members be interested? Nothing. So we went that day. After I got out of the doctor's house, we came, straight to here and said, we want to buy you out of your house. And here I am 8 months later living in this house,
Cool. That's cool.
And so it worked out perfect for us. So.
Well, that's one of those just crazy circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
Divine intervention.
So Bushcraft Family's asking, did you make any moonshine yet?
No. No, I don't plan on making moonshine from my still. However, I do love moonshine. Yeah, that's different types of moonshine, especially peach moonshine or apple pie. That's really good. But yeah, I haven't made anything like that. Maybe eventually at some point in time. You can't use the still for alcohol once you've tried essential oils in it. Something about the oils doesn't mesh well with the alcohol content or something like that. So you're not supposed to use the same. So we might have to get another still for our pleasure.
Will you be making CBD oil with your still?
I would love to. Unfortunately, I don't really know how that works. In Ohio, unfortunately, it's illegal to grow marijuana, and I think that's really unfortunate because my father died of cancer horribly, and I'm a firm believer in medicinal medicine, especially if you need it for things like cancer and stuff like that. So, in Ohio, you cannot grow marijuana.
Right.
But, in Colorado and stuff like that, you can. Unfortunately, just not here for medicinal purposes. So, yeah. Unfortunately, but I do plan on, valerian. I got some valerian seeds. I'm going to start doing that. And I have mint and oregano. And I plan on making a lot of oils from that.
Cool.
So.
Dutch Off-Grid Homestead is asking if elderberries can grow up against a fence.
Yeah, mine do. Mine are up against the fence. And in fact, they go into my pasture I have out back. So, yeah, they're all up against the fence.
Cool.
Hi, Dutch, by the way.
Yeah, it's legal in Ohio, bushcraft. It's just not legal to grow it.
Yeah, it is legal. I think you have to have, like, there's 5 elements that you have to have.
Yeah, then you have
I can't remember what they are.
Then you have to find a doctor to give it to you.
Yeah, and then you have to have some kind of license and stuff like that. And there's a lot of stipulations. And I know around the corner, at one point in time, I live out in the country, but there's like a small farming community a little bit north to us that was going to have, I think it's near Southington, Ohio. They were going to have a huge marijuana growing facility there, and the people voted it out. They don't want it. It was a huge company. I even think like Nick Lachey was even involved. The singer from 98 Degrees was involved in that as well, but they local people voted them out. They said no. And it's really sad, you know, and I understand the stipulations with marijuana. It does create a lot of people that are not willing. There is a little bit of laziness, I guess you would say, that comes along with that. But at the same time, a lot of people really need this medication. They need it. And it's really sad. And if my dad could have had it, I would have given it to him for sure. He was suffering quite a bit.
Where did you get your still?
I purchased it online, Amazon. I think it was like an $80 still. It does require some finagling. I mean, you have to move some stuff around and to try and get it to flow right. But it works. It works out. I'm sure you can watch some YouTube videos and make your own using a pressure canner or something. But you know, I purchased this because it's a little safer for me to operate, and it came with all the stuff to actually make alcohol and stuff like that. But all of the testing tubes and to figure out the percentage of alcohol and stuff like that. But I just don't have a need for that at this moment. So.
It's too convenient just to run down to the store and get it pre-made in a bottle.
Yeah, I don't drink that much, but oh man, I do like to drink, but I don't drink that much. You know, I have to watch my sugar. But you know, it would be fun. It would be fun. I took a lot of wine making classes and stuff in the past. There's a place not too far from here that would do winemaking classes and stuff like that, and you can make your own wine there, and just a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing that kind of stuff. It's very interesting to me.
I know people that have made gallons of wine out of elderberry.
Oh yeah, that would be very good. That would be very good. I don't know if making elderberry wine though you'd have the same medicinal purposes. I don't know how that works out.
All depends on how much you drink.
Yeah.
That's true.
Okay. Just looking to see here. Apparently, we've got a number of people here in the chat that are still friendly people.
That's still, yeah. Got very good play on words there, Daryl.
Oh yeah, we watch a lot of moonshiners shows and stuff like that. And moonshiners are my people. I just love them, and I love that culture. I just love it. And yeah, I don't know if you watch or any of the moonshiners, but I absolutely loved Popcorn. I think he was the cutest little old man. Oh, it breaks my heart. But I thought that man was so cool, and he had a lot of knowledge, and I love history too. I'm a huge history fanatic, and I love to learn. And that guy probably had so much history that he could have told people and explained things that he had done in his life, and it's just, that man was so interesting to me.
So anyway, Courtney, where I was going before was, you didn't grow up on a farm.
Mm-mm.
And obviously, when you got married and stuff, you were living in Akron. There's no farm in Akron.
Nope.
So what made you decide to get chickens and grow things? And What was the catalyst there that turned you on to this?
Well, my daughter, actually, I have she's soon to be 18 in April. I have a 17-year-old stepdaughter who is in 4-H and had rabbits. And one year, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, she decided to get turkeys. And we just fell in love with the turkeys. She had them at her mom's house, so we didn't have them at our house, but then as soon as we moved here, we decided to raise turkeys. And I think that started it all. My love for turkeys started the need for chickens, and then so on and so forth. And I absolutely love turkeys. I think they're beautiful animals, and I love raising them. And this year was the first year that we actually butchered them ourselves. We had 10, and we lost 1, so we had 9, and we butchered all 9 of them. And I had a huge tom. Oh, he was so beautiful. And I did cry a little bit when we had to butcher him. And he was like a 35-pound turkey.
Oh,
but I prayed about it a little. I prayed over him and prayed about it, and they went to the people that helped us butcher and stuff like that. So, I have a lot of first-time experiences here too. But, turkeys really got me into wanting to do this.
So with a 35-pound turkey, you could pray over how many meals you can get out of that.
Yeah, I have Mennonite neighbors, and I absolutely love them. And I've learned so much from them. And so we gave them the 35-pound tom. I said, you guys have been great neighbors. I said, you can have this. So we gave it to them.
Well, that's a good source of education.
Yeah, they're wonderful people. Absolutely wonderful. Not to mention she can bake. Oh my gosh.
There you go.
Wonderful bacons over here.
There you go. That's worth it.
Now, I know that there's different in the Mennonite communities. I know that there's different. I want to say the word tribes, but I'm not sure what the best way is that they call it. Different followings,
sects, maybe different sects.
Sects, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
SECTS, Daryl.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like, what is it?
Just stop talking before you.
Just stop.
Yeah. Darren's not on the phone. You don't have to.
Okay, we're not.
No, it's not Darren's night yet. We're
not sexting chickens.
We're not sexting chickens. No.
Okay. Anyway. I don't know what your particular friends are, but I know that we have a number of Amish that are close to us here, and very few Mennonite. But the Mennonite that are in our area here are, I'm going to say, very progressive. I mean, they have electricity in their homes. They drive. So, but they have the dress, they have the look, they have a lot of the beliefs, but they're modernized, I guess.
Yeah, the Mennonites usually believe in electricity and drive their own vehicles, and usually Amish don't do that or partake in that, but there's different ways they can get around it, like they use cell phones and stuff like that. So there are different ways that they can get around it, but I guess it all depends on who's running your church. I guess that a lot to do with it, and what kind of rules that they set out for them. I mean, one people say that you can have a beard and so many inches, and the other ones say no, you have to have a 10-inch beard, and so there's different parts of it that rule out different orders, I guess.
Yep. Bushcraft family is asking, have you mastered making deep fried deviled eggs yet?
No, no. Those were horrible. I didn't like them at all. My husband loved them. My husband eats anything, but I did not like them. And they're definitely weren't good the next day. So if you want to eat those suckers, you better eat them that day. If you want to crisp. Because I even looked at them in the fridge and I was like, I ain't eating that. So.
Yeah, Robert, a lot of them do use modern technology. In fact, every now and again, Daryl will get a call and he will schlep some of the local Amish men. The one has a construction company, right? Because they're the ones who did our roof a year ago. And they saw Daryl had a truck and he started talking to Daryl. And so every now and again, he'll call and Daryl will either pick the guys up and bring them home or take them and take their trailer and the whole bit.
Yeah, they have their own trailer. And the tools that they have are extremely interesting. They're converted tools to run on chainsaw engines. So they have a DeWalt miter saw that runs on a steel chainsaw engine, and they have a table saw that runs on a chainsaw engine. So they have a lot of these tools. It's kind of fascinating.
That is fascinating. I know there's specific things, engines and stuff that they can use, and then there's some engines that they cannot use.
Right.
And I don't really know all the ins and outs of that, but yeah, it is really fascinating.
Well, and some of them have ice houses that they have ponds, and they have an ice house that they built right on the edge of the pond, and they're every winter they're cutting the ice out of the pond and storing it up in the store all summer.
Wow.
in the ice house, and
That's really cool.
Of course that's all insulated with sawdust from their sawmills. So it's
Well, the short that you put up the other day of the high water, he put a short up of the high water. That was after he dropped off the one guy at his house, an Amish guy. That was their driveway.
Yeah, that was getting out of their driveway. So
it was like driving through Lake Erie.
Yeah.
Well, and he said, don't worry about it. It's only washed out a couple inches. I'm going, thanks a lot.
Thank goodness for 4-wheel drive trucks that are high off the ground.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
So what do you have, where do you see your property in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, I hope to have a full-on, chicken operation here. And my garden, we want to sell produce and stuff like that. So, and we are 100% organic. Everything I grow is organic. So, I definitely want to push that. And so, yeah, hopefully that is where our property will be. I mean, there's so much stuff around here that needs to be fixed and updated and stuff like that. And like I said, we have a giant skeleton of a pig barn in our way back field that needs to be tore down. We don't plan on getting pigs. The previous owners here had pigs, huge ones. They had like 10 of them, and they did a lot of damage to the property as well. So I mean, we just plan on making my grandparents proud, updating things and living off of what we can grow as much as possible. My turkeys were really good, by the way. We had them for Thanksgiving, and they were wonderful.
Now your husband, the farm doesn't support your entire family.
No, my husband works. He works a lot.
Do you see it going in that direction? I mean, do you have plans to do that, or is that a dream of yours? That
it is a dream of mine. I don't know if it'll be reached, but it is a dream of mine.
You don't know. You don't know if he shares that dream.
He does, but he does have to work too, and so I don't know. Well, I don't know what we'll do.
Well, I was just kind of wondering, because I know some people have turned a relatively small piece of property into a very going business, especially with gardening.
Sure. Yeah.
And you're close enough to big markets where you could be selling a lot of stuff. Actually obtain accounts to restaurants and different things like that, where you could potentially make.
So that'd be like the top of my dream list right there is to do that. And I mean, I absolutely love gardening, and it would just be completely wonderful to do something like that. I've done flea markets and stuff before, so I'm not really a stranger to it. So I think it would be a blast to do something like that, and to teach my son as well. I mean, that's basically why we started doing this to begin with, is because of my son, teaching him about gardening and butchering animals and the chickens and stuff. And I want him to grow up in that environment. I think it's really important. So,
So do you have, or plan to have, or desire to obtain like master gardening certifications and things like that, or is that?
Yeah, I plan to. It's, COVID has put a wrench into everything.
Yep.
So unfortunately, it's slowed us down quite a bit. But yeah, I plan to. I live in a small county, and they do have master gardening classes and stuff like that I can take. And yeah, I would really love to do that.
Question here, is your garden, is it certified organic?
It is not certified, but we are organic. We grow organically. The only thing we put on our crop is rabbit poop and neem oil. So yeah, we end up losing quite a bit too. When you grow organically, you end up losing quite a bit, but it's worth it.
Okay. So I'm curious, Courtney. You have anything else you'd like to chat about here this evening? I
don't know. I'm really excited about just the future and things to come, especially 2021. I'm kicking 2020 out the door.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like something that never even happened in my mind. I don't even want it to. It didn't even happen. What was that year? I plan on moving forward, and I have a ton more videos that I plan on pushing out, and plan on doing that. And I have tons of new ideas, especially with herbs that I'm definitely into growing this valerian root. I'm super excited about that. So, I'm just excited about things to come. I'm excited about our future here, and I love living in this house, and I cannot wait for summer to come.
Okay.
Nothing.
There must be something.
No, his day will come.
Oh.
Real soon.
Okay.
I'm going to have to come back and watch this because I can't read anything that's in the chat. So.
Oh, these foreigners.
Foreigners. Okay. All right. Had no idea. So anyway, we want to thank you for being here this evening. Hope you had a good time.
Oh, yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for having me, and I love doing this.
Oh, Rusty Pepper's asking if your dog is LGD. Is it a
large
livestock? Livestock is a guardian dog.
Oh no, he couldn't guard anything. I have two poodles. I have a giant schnauzer and standard poodle mix, and then I have a standard poodle, and I don't think he could guard anything. The door maybe, and that's pretty much it.
I used to have a white standard poodle. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Otis and Ellie Mae, those are their names.
Cool.
We used to dye Ellie Mae. I might have pictures of her that I might have put on Whyde Family Farm, but I used to dye her hair pink, and then we used to go places, and I used to have a page for her specifically, and it was a lot of fun. It really cheered a lot of people up, man. They had fun in it.
Can you imagine dyeing Smudge's hair pink? Or blue? Blue like Andy's hair that one year.
No.
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 No. Okay.
No. I don't think we'll do that.
Okay.
All right. So with that, Sherry, you got anything else?
No. I enjoyed it.
Hey, I want to thank
Courtney.
everybody that's still here for being here. Special thank you to our moderators and to our channel members, those that are in Smudge's Pack. We appreciate all of you, and thank you all for being here. Want you to remember.
And those that are in Smudge's Pack, I hope you got your smudge cloth by now. You should have. Okay, that's all
All right.
That was it.
that was all I'm gonna say.
That was it.
That was it.
Okay.
Well, thanks everybody in the chat for really hanging out with me, and thanks for calling in. I'm learning new things all the time, and this is awesome. So thanks, guys.
And just remember, folks, if a turtle doesn't have a shell, is he homeless or naked? Ask yourself that.
Jeez.
Take care. Good night. And next week, TNS, Dogs and Dragonflies Farm will be here. So, see you all then. Bye-bye.